here from the Hockenheimring. Hello, here from the heart of the Mercedes-AMG DTM team. This is perhaps the most important race weekend of the year. Oh no, to be honest, it is the most important race weekend of the year. Then today, before we find the next DTM champion here at the Hockenheimring, we find another champion. We find the champion of the Mercedes-Benz AMG eRacing competition. That's how it is. These are the finals, and here are our drivers.
Six best drivers are sim racing competition finalists. Let's go racing!
Yeah!
We've got 20 minutes of hot rocking race action.
Look at these concentrators' eyes. Look at these guys here. They're already in the free practice. And to be exact, we have 3 competitions today. The first one is the competition of the 6 best drivers of the Mercedes-Benz AMG Motorsport eRacing competition. We searched them the whole season long and all around the world. And they are fighting today for the World Championship. We're searching the world champion today, and the winner can win a real racetrack training in real life. So this is going to be the first competition. The second one is the competition between the 6 rookies of the Mercedes-Benz AMG Games World e-racing competition, and they are fighting for a DTM car taxi drive here on the Hockenheim ring this weekend. This is something, right? Yeah, and then we have another competition, and this is really interesting because you can see all our 6 AMG DTM drivers sitting here. Paul Di Resta here in the front, concentrated. Eduardo Moreira there. He's really, they're all really concentrated, and they fight hard because they can win nothing today. They can just fight for their honor. And if we talk about last year, that was not the best year for them in the e-competition. So good luck to all our race drivers and good luck to all of you guys. And the free practice is still running, right, Robert?
Yeah.
It is. And before we start the qualifying, I want to introduce you 2 guys, our commentators. He is the voice of the DTM. Yeah, we can call him like this. He is Dave Richardson. Applause, please.
Oh, that's very kind of you, Tore. I remember this last year, and what a brilliant evening we had. These guys are so talented. I'm not talking about our DTM drivers from Mercedes-AMG. Clearly, they're talented. But these guys that race simulators are extraordinary. Can I let you into a secret? As we're looking at free practice right now,
okay, tell us.
P1, Jack Keithley, who lives literally 2 kilometers from where I live. Clearly, the talent has come from my end of the country.
Oh my God, yeah, it's a talent area where you're from. Amazing. So, he's the first commentator. Thank you, Dave. It's going to be a great evening today. It's going to be a great race. And there's the other one. If you are the race of the DTM, the voice of the DTM, he is the voice of eRacing. Applause, please, für Robert Wiesenmüller.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. Oh, man. It's so great to see this here. It's so great to see e-racing on such a big stage. And I'm just looking forward so much to this race here. Can't wait.
So, when we're going to start the race, how many minutes is the free practice left?
We've got about like 2 minutes left of some free practice session, and then we will immediately go into the qualifying session, and then we will see who's the fastest.
Yeah, and we perhaps we get some surprises because we have our rookies here around the professional e-racing drivers and the professional race drivers. And do you think there could be a surprise today, that they could do something in the championship today?
Oh, I mean, it's always hard to tell, but when I saw the practice times, I could see that Robert Wickens is looking extremely competitive at the moment. He was the fastest out of the DTM drivers. And I've also seen Lucas Auer already in the season of the eRacing doing a very good job. So I think these two are probably the favorites from the real DTM drivers who do a good job here.
And from the eRacing drivers, what do you think?
I think
because you met all the drivers before the whole year long. You did every race they did before. And who's your favorite?
Well, Jack Keithley, he was the guy who dominated the online season. He actually won 5 races, 5 out of the 9 races. But on the other hand, there's, for example, Tim Heinemann. And Tim Heinemann won this event last year. He's extremely good under pressure, and he's also extremely good on the Hockenheim ring. So I think these two are the favorites, but who knows?
Oh, what's going on there with Lucas Auer? He's smiling. What's wrong with you? So let's talk about a couple of things, because if they do one mistake here, it's like in a real race, they're out, right?
Yeah, we've got 20 minutes, and I mean, you need to nail these 20 minutes. You need to do a good job, and if you crash, it's over. I mean, it's maybe a game, but simulating real racing as closely as possible, race room, and so it's like a real DTM race. They've got DRS, they've got realistic physics, they've got a pretty accurate wheel as well in front of them, good simulators, and I think it comes pretty close to the real racing. And I always wonder, like, how good would these e-racers be in a real car?
Okay, so are we ready?
Yes, we are already in the qualifying session.
Okay, then you do the qualifying now. Let's start.
Thank you, Tore. So here we are then into the qualifying session already. And just like in a real DTM race, qualifying is utterly critical. It's utterly crucial. You've got to get it absolutely right. This, of course, the finale of the Mercedes-AMG eRacing competition with Race Room. Just 8 minutes. And that clock is going to tick down very, very quickly. Let's go live on board now with Tim Heinemann then. Everything is so realistic. It's like being in my studio, and it's the real race. So turning in now, just kissing the apex a little bit. Does so on the exit now. Around the parabolica, then the fastest part of this Hockenheim ring circuit. And you can see the split times on the bottom of the screen. Heading up towards the hairpin now. Heavy braking part of this circuit. Turn in, and of course, when it comes to the real race, Rob, this is going to be a real pinch point, isn't it? Going into that hairpin is one I'm looking forward to, I'm sorry to say.
Yeah, I think it's especially critical on the first lap when we've got all cars bunched up very close together, but also at the same time, it's a good point for overtaking. And on modern racetracks, it's sometimes very rare that you find these corners where you can overtake easily, but in the Mercedes-AMG eRacing competition, overtaking, you know, it was easy. We saw it in every single race, and I hope we can see the same here today.
You're absolutely right. As we've watched the series throughout the course of the season, there has been so much overtaking. But at the moment, there you can see we're on board, not on board, but we're tracking Tim Heinemann now and keeping the clock on him to give us a respective time, a benchmark time, if you like, for the remaining 6.5 minutes of this qualifying session. And a 1:32.319. And Heinemann crosses now with a 1:32.055, fastest currently. That deserves a cheer, I'm sure. Oh, for crying out blooming loud. Do you know how hard me and Rob are working up here to try and generate the excitement for this? 6.25 minutes, all that's left in qualifying. Now here is Jack Keithley. Clearly in my broadcast position, I am totally unbiased, Rob. However, I'd like to see him do well.
Yeah, and I think he's proven in the season already that he's really capable of doing a great job in these types of cars. Currently in second place, but you can see it's less than a tenth that he is behind Tim Heinemann. And you can also see already on the screen how Keithley loses the back end a little bit. The drivers are already fighting very hard in the practice session. Let's actually go to the fastest of the DTM drivers, and as we expected, it's Robert Wickens.
So on board with Rob Wickens now then, personal best through Sector 1, but that's not the best of everyone. If it's green, it's a personal best heading up towards the hairpin now. Down hard on that brake pedal, turning into the hairpin, back on the throttle then, giving it everything he can as he heads down towards the Mercedes arena now. The best of the DTM drivers then is Robert Wickens, P7 at the moment in this qualifying session, where, may I remind you, there is merely 5 minutes left. Rob, it goes so blooming quickly.
Yeah, they really need to do a perfect lap early on in the session. They're also on only one set of tires for this qualifying session, so it actually might get really hard now to improve, but it's definitely possible. When you look at the time from Tim Heinemann, 1 minute 32.055, that is quick.
When you look at the margin between P1 and P2, we are talking about 3/100ths. I mean, it is so close.
Yeah, and Julian Kunze, the guy in third place, he's not so far behind either. And he actually finished in second place last year. He finished second in the online campaign. So I'm sure he wants to do a little bit, he wants to do something different than a second place, but I'm not sure if third is what he imagined.
No, maybe not. He'll be hoping for better than that. Well, we've still got 4.5 minutes remaining of this qualifying session. And like in DTM for real, of course, the margins between the top drivers is minuscule. On board with Julian Kunze now. Absolutely flat now. Onto the brakes, turn in, kiss the apex, take a little bit of curb on the exit. Very good use of that curb. And again, you can actually feel and hear the rumble strips being used here. The eRacing competition with Race Room, then very nearly touching the concrete wall. This is brilliant into the arena, where already there are tens of thousands of people watching this brilliant competition going on. So merely a few turns left before the conclusion of this lap. Currently P3. Sector 1 was a PB, Sector 2 was a bit shabby. We're within sight of the timing line now.
It's not an improvement, unfortunately, and that might be the tires, but there we can see an improvement, and I think it was Moritz Löhner, the fastest of the rookies, who moves up into 5th position. It's a very nice lap.
And by so doing, of course, that's dropped Robert Wickens down to P8, the best of our DTM stars so far. P8 is Robert Wickens. Edo Mortara is P9. Lucas Auer, what's happened to him? In free practice, looked really good. He's currently P12. And on board with Edo Mortara right now, then.
Actually going on board with Lucas Auer now.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I'm surprised because Mortara just said he hasn't even built his rig. And Lucas Auer, he drove in the last race. He did a very good job, finished in the points, and he's been beaten by his teammates. So, yeah, maybe some work to do, but this is still the 13th position. So no improvements inside, and that curve, he took it a little bit hard there.
Come on, Lucas. So at the moment then, Lucas is P13. As I mentioned, the best of our DTM stars, Robert Wickens, who's P8. Tim Heinemann, we track once again now. Sector 1, not the best we've seen from him at the moment. Of course, he is top of that chart, a 132.055. Keithley P2 then, who's just on some 8/100ths down. Then it's Julian Kunze, who's done a best of everyone through Sector 1, PB through Sector 2. This could be a good lap, Rob.
Yeah, it could be, but he's still a little bit further behind to the time of Jack Keithley, so I'm not sure if it's an improvement. And it is an improvement, but it's not good enough. So unfortunately, Julian Kunze is still in 3rd position, but a very nice time, and we shouldn't count him out for the race. Kevin Sigi-Rebernak, actually, the Austrian driver, currently in 4th position. He's also one of the e-racers, one of the strong performers of the season. Then Moritz Löhner and Florian Hasse. He's currently in 6th position.
So Florian Hasse then that we are tracking right now, PB through Sector 1. Like in the DTM racing right across we've seen in the season, the margins between P1, P10 and then back down to P18, they're tiny actually, and credit should be given to these race room drivers who are, you know, they are all so on top of their game, aren't they? Brilliant drivers in their own right, and as Torre said, great to see them in a real racing car.
Yeah, and what you have to imagine, of course, is that when they drive at home, when they drive online, they've all got different equipment. They've all got different types of wheels, different types of chairs, and so on. And here they're all driving on equal equipment, and they all had to adjust to a whole new technology, maybe in some cases, for the brakes. So it's been a big task for them, and they didn't have a lot of time. They had a 30-minute practice session to adjust here. And when I look at the time from Tim Heinemann and from from Jack Keithley as well at the front of the field. These are ultra competitive times on a fixed setup as well, so this is really impressive. But qualifying is about to end, and yeah, it's only 30 seconds left, and actually in race room, when the timer says 0, the session is over.
Oh,
they're done.
So unlike in DTM then, if you've crossed the line with maybe 1 second left, you can complete that lap. That's not the case.
That's not the case.
Oh, no.
And we've actually seen someone improving, and that's Florian Hasse, who moved up into 5th position, past Moritz Löhner. So nice job by him.
So we are counting down then, just 5 seconds remaining in this qualifying session. Kevin Siggy then that we are with right now. And that's it, qualifying done and dusted, Rob.
Yeah, congratulations to Tim Heinemann. Pole position for the champion of the last year, but Jack Keithley is right on his tails. And if we've seen them in the season, you know, there's not a lot of sympathy between them. And I think this could get very heated.
Okay, so we're looking for real action in the race then. Okay, from my point of view, clearly I want to see who is the best of the DTM stars. If memory serves me, I think that's probably going to be Robert Wickens.
Yeah, it is.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please give it up for Robert Wickens, P9. Well done, Rob.
We will actually have a look now, though, at the pole position man, at Tim Heinemann. Oh, that's someone on his phone. Don't use that while you're driving. There we've got him, Tim Heinemann, winner last year, and is waiting for the race to start.
Well done, Tim. There he is. Did the hair specially for today's race. Good to see you, and many, many congratulations. A brilliant lap from Tim Heinemann. Jack Keithley then P2, and then Ziggy was P3.
Yeah, exactly. So Julian Kunze, he looked like he would be in 3rd position the whole time, and then he actually got beaten by Ziggy in the dying moments of the session.
But again, this is just how surreal it is, isn't it? And of course, when you have run the competition throughout the course of the season, this is how close it's been. It's not been stepped up just for the finales. It has been like it all season long, hasn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So we've seen actually. We've seen a lot of close fights. We've seen a lot of different drivers win races. Keithley won 5 races. Heinemann won 2. Kunze won a race, and also Jaroslav Honzik won a race, who qualified in 7th position. And there were a lot of position changes, and I think we can expect the same here. So looking forward to the race. It's just about to start.
Very good.
In a few seconds.
I think Torre is down there, who's probably going to catch up with Edo Mortara, who finished P10 in qualifying.
Oh, we're moving into the race now.
Oh, we start the race now. So let's start. Let's race. Are you ready, guys? Who's going to be the winner of the Mercedes-AMG e-race competition?
So we are on then and racing here at Hockenheim in this race room competition. And all bets on then as the cars are heading up through turn number 1 towards turn number 2. This is going to be phenomenal. Of course, we have 2 brilliant DTM races to come this weekend, but the first of those is actually this race. We said it was going to be packed around the Parabolica as they all head up towards the hairpin. Let's go on board. What a phenomenal shot this is of Julian Kunze then being chased down here, trying to find the perfect line going into the hairpin. Up the inside, is there contact? No. Do all the cars get through cleanly? Remarkably, Rob, I think they have.
Oh, there's one spinner, and I think that's Mauro Engel, who lost control of his car, but otherwise a remarkably clean start. And Tim Heinemann, he won the start, and he's already over a second ahead of the next driver, and that's not Jack Keithley, that's Kevin Siggy Revanak, who got past Jack Keithley at the start of the race.
So Kevin Siggy then is P2, but Heinemann then, he did all the hard work, arguably, in qualifying, put the car on pole position, and now he is leading that race, and as you say, has built up a remarkable lead before even 1 lap has been completed. Jack Keithley down there in P3 at the moment, and he'll be hoping over the course of this race to try and make up places. Oh. Julian Kunze, whoa, that's a big bold.
That was Honzik against Hasse, and Honzik is going past on the inside. Quite an aggressive move, but an opportunistic move. And that's what we like to see here.
What they say is rubbing is racing, and that was rubbing and racing, and brilliant to watch.
Yeah, the Czech driver Jaroslav Honzik, not the best qualifying session. Oh, we have to go to Keithley though, because Keithley is putting a lot of pressure on Kevin Siggy Revanak.
He's right on him, isn't he? He's right on him here.
And he should have the DRS now as well.
So Jack Keithley then with the DRS benefit should make this really easy around the Parabolica then, heading up towards the hairpin. But If he can keep... No, Keithley's got it done even before they get to the hairpin. But now, of course, that gives DRS to Ziggy as well. So up to 3 times per lap the DRS can be used. So what Keithley needs to do now as we get more around.
And I think it's Julian Kunze who got spun around in the hairpin. And now we can see the DTM drivers in the battle. Wickens into 7th, Mortara in 8th, and they're side by side. Ooh, crucial point there. You shouldn't go side by side, and there comes the dive from Wickens. Pushes Mortara a little bit out of the way. Actually gives the position to Schoenfelder as well, who moves up into 8th position.
Well, of course, he was just waiting to pounce, wasn't he? Yeah. As those two started battling between themselves, inevitably he was going to be able to take advantage.
Side by side once again here. Matzik is looking now on the inside of Kunze, who really dropped back. A lot of bad luck for Julian Kunze there early on in the race. So now he has to recover through this race.
So slightly banked around there, and let's complete this lap then with Tim Heinemann then as he crosses the timing line now. Keep your eyes on Jack Keithley though in P2. We've already seen him overtake one car. Can he get on terms with the race leader Tim Heinemann then? We have 16 and 3/4 minutes left of this race. And Tim Heinemann has done a good job in terms of building a gap, but that can oh so easily be taken away.
Yeah, and what we saw in the whole season was that Tim Heinemann is very fast in the beginning of the race, but when it comes to tire wear, he's suffering a little bit. And Jack Keithley, he's a master of tire wear. So this race is all but over.
And of course, like in a real race, tire wear, tire degradation is utterly critical. So they break as now, Keithley under a bit of pressure now. So instead of focusing on attack, he's having to focus on defending now. This is a brilliant shot. Kevin Ziggy Rebenak then absolutely hounding. Takes a look at the outside, tries to unsettle Jack ahead. We'll try and move towards the inside now, but wherever Ziggy wants to put that car, he knows that he's going to be not blocked, but it's going to be heavily defended by Jack Keithley ahead of him in P2. But this is the real battle at the moment between these two for P2 and P3.
Actually, P4 and P5, that's almost as close. We've got Hasse and we've got Löhner, the fastest of the rookies. He's putting all sorts of pressure on Florian Hasse.
You're absolutely right. I'm glad we've picked up on this battle because it's every bit as exciting, isn't it? Florian Hasse then, who's having to stick his elbows out and try and make the car considerably wider than it is to try and prevent that overtake.
Yeah, now of course on the next lap Löhner should have the DRS, and that was also a small mistake by Florian Hasse, who got a little bit onto the grass. Now see here the first corner, that's a crucial corner, and the force feedback is so hard when they go over the curb there. It really shakes your arms around, and so it's one of the corners where you can lose a lot of times, and you can also easily lose the car when you hit the curb at the wrong angle.
Now this will be absolutely critical. You can see the DRS engaged then. Of course, this gives the additional benefit around this parabolica then, heading up towards the heavy braking zone, which is the hairpin. And let's see, is he going to go outside, inside? Inside, trying to defend now. But we'll try and get the switch back now by undercutting and trying to get underneath the car. Not just quite close enough.
No, not quite close enough, but he still is on the DRS. So maybe this time here. This corner is really difficult with the DRS open. You don't have a lot of downforce. Goes for the outside line, and I don't think he can make a pass. Nope. Doesn't look like it.
Well, it was a valiant effort, wasn't it?
Yeah, but we have to go to the front of the field because Jack Keithley, he's already closed the gap to Tim Heinemann, and that went a little bit quicker than I expected. It's 14 minutes still left on the clock, and we haven't seen that sort of pace from Jack Keithley online, but he's certainly on shape here at the live event.
So Jack Keithley then chasing down Heinemann then, who is our race leader. And now, as they come into the start-finish straight here, heading up towards turn number 1, you can see just how close, and you're absolutely right, Rob. He's really narrowed that gap down. So all of a sudden, Heinemann is having to think about where he has to put that car in terms of defence. And Jack Keithley then...
Oh, I think Heinemann has got an issue.
I think you're right.
I think he's got an issue because you could see his car swerving from one side to another. So, bit of contact there, but Heinemann looks wounded. It looks like his car, maybe like the steering broke at the front or so, because he's moving from one side to another, and he can't do anything here against Keithley. But Ziggy Rebenak, he's going for the lead now, going through the middle there.
3 abreast. This is incredible, up towards the hairpin, trying to scrub off speed.
Contact, and Keithley's
no! Oh my goodness. Well, this is our race leader, of course. Jack Keithley got turned around in that. He has recovered and is back out on track, but oh goodness, we kind of thought it might happen, didn't we?
Yeah, and I don't know which one was it with, and if it was Heinemann or if it was Sigi Remenak, but one of the BWT cars was too late on the brakes, just spins Keithley around, and now he's 7 seconds back. And that's almost an impossible task now for the win of the race.
It is, with only 12.5 minutes remaining, isn't it? I mean, that's an enormous margin. So our leader then is Kevin Sigi Rebenak, then in P1. And, well, gifted a great opportunity there. But just keep your eyes on Heinemann now, because I think the bit is between Heinemann's teeth now, and he's going to try and chase down and get that, wrestle away that P1 position back again.
Let's actually take a look here on board with Tim Heinemann, because we could see his car moving a little bit. Oh, he misses the corner as well there, out of the corner. So I'm not sure what's the problem with his car, but he seems to have recovered pretty well.
That seems remarkable, because you're right, and you picked up on it much quicker than I did, that there was an issue with the car. But all of a sudden, the issue seems to, either have gone away or he's driving through it, which if he is driving through that issue, that makes his performance now even more remarkable. With DRS open, let's see as he tries to find a way.
Oh, side by side, and he's squeezing him there. That's very aggressive racing from Tim Heinemann here.
Now this is where he can get that to switch back and go underneath.
Heinemann still has the DRS though, so on this lap it won't be possible, unfortunately. Hasse moves up into 3rd position, so if these two make contact here, Florian Hasse will be the one who benefits.
Well, let's see then as we follow these two. This is the race for P1 and P2 at the moment, with merely 11.25 minutes of this race remaining. Robert Wickens then, the best of the DTM stars, who is currently running P9 ahead of Lucas Sauer. Edo Mortara is P12, Gary Paffett P14, Paul de Resta and Mauro Engel P17 and P18 respectively.
Yeah, lots of problems for Mauro Engel in this race, but maybe he can gain a few positions. We actually have to go back to the front though, because Kevin Sigi Remenak, he's still close to Tim Heinemann.
So Kevin Sigi Remenak then doing the chasing now, and Keithley up to P5, but some 7 and a bit seconds down. That's a huge margin for him to come back from. But that's racing, isn't it? Contact happens and things happen, and sure enough it happened to him. So again on the Parabolica, DRS in full use then from Kevin Sigi. Up towards the hairpin now. Which line? Outside, inside. Whoa, carrying so much speed. Never going to be able to scrub that off.
Yeah, a bit too late on the brakes, but he's got a good run for the next corner, and he's got the DRS, so I think this might actually help him in the long run. Takes the inside now. Oh, he's braking. Why is he braking? I don't understand that.
Well, quelle surprise, mate. If it was me, I'd be braking. But these guys are so good. This driving. It was a surprise to see him braking. We look back, what a brilliant camera angle this is. Looking back at the P2 car on board with Tim Heinemann, then rubbing across those rumble strips, using every single centimetre of tarmac that is available to get the most out of these cars. And of course, as we reach just 9 minutes of the time remaining, tyre degradation may come into play here, Rob.
Yeah, definitely could come into play, and of course it's always a bit more difficult for the guy who's leading the race. It's always a bit easier for the car behind, because you have the slipstream, you have the DRS, you don't have to push so hard through the corners. And Tim Heinemann way out of the circuit here in the corner, actually gaining a lot of time there by taking this line. But Sigi is strong on the brakes.
He is. He's king of the late breakers, isn't he?
Yeah, we can see him in the picture now. That's Kevin Sigi Remenak there, looking very focused, very concentrated. Now Tim Heinemann, yeah, you can see the sweat dripping from his forehead there as Kevin Sigi is coming up now.
Oh, this is going to be good.
He's closing the door late again.
Oh. So as they head up towards the hairpin, who's going to come out of this P1? There's contact between the two of them, but no damage done as they head now down towards the next turn.
Once again, Heinemann taking a few liberties here in the hairpin. So Sigi, I don't know how long he will keep his patience here in the battle.
So it's at this point then frustrations begin to come in as well. And so this is Markus Schoenfelder then, who is currently running in P8 with Kunze ahead of him. Of course, just ahead of Robert ahead of him. Of course, just ahead of Wickens, who is running in P9. The best of our DTM drivers with Lucas Howe running in P10. So there is Lucas Howe then.
That's not the circuit.
Yes, I don't know quite where he was going there. The Austrian then still with mathematical chance, of course, of being able to take it across the weekend. This is Lucas Howe then running in P10 through that banked section, back on the power.
And Tim Heinemann here off the track once again in the first corner. Of course, you have to stay on the curve in order to stay on the racing line, so he's really pushing it a little bit. Kevin Siggy, he's also pushing it, and that's on the brakes. So he loses all of the good run that he had earlier on to stay close to Heinemann, and now he might have had an opportunity to take the lead, but that's gone.
Yes. Just explain to me, Rob, if you will, because track limits, when it comes to DTM racing, of course, 2 wheels outside the white line is acceptable, 4 wheels isn't. It's marginally different, isn't it, in our competition here?
Yeah. In the first corner, you can go with all the 4 wheels onto the curb, and in most of the other corners, you can go with 2 wheels onto the curb and 2 wheels beyond that. But the lines that some of the drivers were taking, like Lucas Auer before, they were not quite within the track limits. But either way, Tim Heinemann, he hasn't had a lot of time here alone at the front of the field, because Kevin Siggy-Remennak has closed the gap immediately.
He has, and that's an extraordinary recovery, because Heinemann had got some distance up the road, but just keep your eyes on the P2 driver now, who really is just closing. Kevin Siggy-Remennak then around the bank section of that turn, gets within 2 car lengths of Heinemann, who is leading the race. 6 minutes remaining, that's all. The time has gone so quickly, but sure you'll agree with me, every single second of it has been entertaining thus far, with some really close racing. And what should also be pointed out is how these two have broken away from the rest of the pack.
Yeah, here we can see the guy in 3rd place. That's Moritz Löhner, who's doing a great job here. But yeah, it's over 5 seconds, the gap at the front of the field, so that's a lot.
That is a lot. A remarkable margin to have been built by our V1 and P2 drivers. And here once again is Kevin Siggy-Remennak then, who is reeling in Tim Heinemann, heading up once again towards the hairpin. Again, DRS open. Choice is inside, outside. Chooses to go outside. Will try and get underneath now, but really actually wasn't close enough to be able to do so.
I wonder if Siggy-Remennak is biding his time. I wonder if he's waiting for the last lap to make a move on the DRS.
We would call that a last lap lunge. Do you think that's likely to come?
It might be, because he's a very patient guy, and it's not, you could see him actually tapping the brakes when he was coming up to Heinemann. So maybe he's just waiting here. Maybe he doesn't want to risk being in front and then being overtaken once again by Heinemann.
So what we're suggesting is that Kevin Siggy-Remennak then may be just biding his time and keeping the pressure on Heinemann, but the real pressure is going to come when we're running out of time and we're into the last lap situation. That's when the real potential overtake may come.
Well, Kunze actually here in a close battle with Keithley, who dropped way down the order, and Daniel Schön, who's Markus Schönfelder actually, who's in the middle of them. So Kunze back up to 6th, and Keithley, it's gone from bad to worse for him.
He's having a torrid time of it, isn't he? Unfortunately, all of course brought about by that spin around at the exit of the hairpin.
And that's in the most important race of the season. He's been so good online, and at the beginning of the race he looked fantastic. And now, he's just dropping down the order. It's very unfortunate.
Yeah, it is a great shame, but like in the real deal race, it can happen. So Tim Heinemann then has broken away just a little bit here from Siggy, but is he just lulling him into a false sense of security, ready to pounce like a viper?
Let's see, once again, he's not doing anything in the hairpin, so I think he's just waiting a little bit.
Well, of course, you've watched these drivers all season long, so you know what some of their characteristics are and what they might choose to do. Let's find out. I can tell
you that Heinemann or Keithley, they would not wait. I can guarantee you that. But these two people here, they're having a good fight as well. Löhner on the outside there in the car with the green mirrors, and Hasse on the inside. Oh, change of positions once again. I think Hasse should have that. Good move by Florian Hasse there, but Moritz Löhner, this isn't done yet.
No, you're right.
Sideways over the curve there.
So as you can see, as Robert said, they certainly take liberties with regards to track limits, and also liberties on occasions with the panel rubbing that goes on as well. But this is a really close battle between the two of them then. Bearing in mind this is the battle going on, P3, P4.
Oh, I just thought we see someone moving up, but it was not the case. But we actually have to go back to the front of the field because it's only 2 minutes and 45 seconds left.
Oh.
And I think now Kevin really has to think about making a move, because otherwise he's
going to run out of time, isn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, so Kevin Ziggy Rebenak then. He has got to get it together now. It's got to be this lap or the next one, otherwise he is going to run out of time here. So DRS in full use, heading up towards the hairpin now. This does look more aggressive. This looks more like he means business now. He moves up even before we get to the hairpin. Of course, what he's got to do is scrub off the speed and make sure that car is as wide as possible to prevent Heinemann coming back.
Heinemann taps him again out of the hairpin there. Heinemann really has to watch out there.
But Ziggy did a brilliant job. He put that car right in the middle of the road. He stuck his elbows out and said, "Ta-da, chap, P1 is mine now."
Yeah, and now, of course, for the last 2 laps of the race, the DRS will go to Tim Heinemann unless Kevin Ziggy Rebenak can pull off a miracle here in the last sector. We can see 2 cars side by side in the background. That was Schönfelder on the outside against Kunze. And Schönfelder, one of the rookies, having a fantastic race here.
He's been impressive all race long, hasn't he? Really impressive.
He's been really impressive, and I think it hasn't worked for Kevin Ziggy Rebenak because Tim Heinemann is still right there. You can see him on the screen here, Tim Heinemann, waiting to make his revenge move. And this will be the last lap. We're going to go on to the last lap now, on this lap. So we've got 1 lap left, and that means Tim Heinemann has DRS for the last lap of the race.
Did Rebenak come into it too early? Did he make the overtake 1 lap too soon, as Heinemann is going to fight back here?
Takes the lead of the race, but he taps the curb way too hard there, so that might give an opportunity to Kevin Ziggy Rebenak. Now he has to stay in the slipstream, but that would be very hard without the DRS.
They are virtually welded together, so it's going to be everything or nothing going into the hairpin then as they make their way around the parabolica, heading up towards the hairpin now. This camera shot shows that Tim Heinemann then...
Oh, Heinemann brakes a little bit too late. That might give an opportunity to Kevin Ziggy, but he's good on the exit and he still has the DRS. So now Kevin Ziggy Rebenak needs a miracle in the last sector to take the win of the race.
And you and I both know it's really difficult to overtake in that last sector. I just wonder whether Ziggy he overtook 1 lap too early, maybe. It's easy for you and I to sit up here and suggest that we know best. This has been a real race-long battle which has enthralled and entertained. But at the moment, it looks like Tim Heinemann, barring any disaster, is going to bring the honours home in P1. He has just a couple of turns left to do. So Tim Heinemann then, Ziggy P2. Rob, who's going to win the race?
It's going to be Tim Heinemann who will cross the line first here. Certainly not an uncontroversial win, but he will take the win here. Tim Heinemann wins the race ahead of Kevin Ziggy Rebenak.
Whoa!
Something happened there. I saw a car flying. Boris Löhner actually takes the 3rd position. Now we can see some discussions there between the staff member and Tim Heinemann. I think the results are still provisional now, as some of the scenes are going to be reviewed. I assume that's what's happening right now at the moment.
Well, what we can say is that the best of the DTM drivers, Rob Wickens, then in P9. Give it up for Robert Wickens, P9, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Great effort, Rob. Well done.
Yeah, great job by him. And he stayed ahead of Lucas Auer. He stayed ahead
Only
of
just.
the guy who, you can see Lucas Auer there in the background, I think.
Just a bit of bubble gum on the throttle. That would have done it, Lucas, wouldn't it? That would have been enough. That would have been enough. Excellent. What a fantastic race. So we will see then the P1, 2, 3. I have to say, Rob, where the heck did the time go? Because there were so many battles, and it wasn't just the battle at the front. I mean, P1, 2, and actually 1, 2, 3 had broken away initially, but wherever we looked down the grid, there was battles going on. It was fantastic entertainment, and credit to all of them.
Yeah, fantastic race. Great job here. And yeah, congratulations to the drivers. We've got the results coming up pretty soon. So Heinemann won ahead of Rebenak, then Löhner, Hasse in 4th, Honzig in 5th, then Julian Kunze, Jack Keithley only in 7th position after the contact with Heinemann, then Schönfelder in 8th, Robert Wickens in 9th position, with Lucas Auer in 10th, And who's that in 11th? I think that's Philipp Matzig, one of the rookies. Then Daniel Schön in 12th. 13th position goes to... Who's that in the 13th position? That's Eduardo Mortaro.
Edo Mortaro.
Oh, he dropped down the order. I expected him a little bit higher up after his good start of the race. And there we can see the full results.
So confirmation of the results then. P1, Tim Heinemann. P2, Kevin Siggy Rebenak. It's Moritz Lerner then. P3, Florian Hasser taking P4. The rest of the order there, and as you can see, for our DTM stars, mixed throughout the race order. P last, though, was Mauro Engel, who Tori will be speaking to in a few moments. No Christmas card for me this year from the Engel household, I think. But P1, a brilliant, brilliant race. Really enjoyable. Great to sit alongside you and commentate.
Oh, it's been a pleasure. It's been great. And I hope we can see a lot of these events once again in the future. I think this is just the start of something here.
Well, I have to say, the whole race room setup is magnificent, and it's not only magnificent for us to enjoy, but fascinating to actually watch all the technology at work here. Brilliant job.
Thank you, Robert. Thank you, Dave. And before we celebrate the fastest e-racer, we celebrate the slowest racer, e-racer. Mauro, what's wrong with your simulator here? Oh, with you?
Yeah, I don't think it was the simulator. I'm really happy that that race is over and I can go back to reality, because I think after counting 5 spins, I lost count. After that, I stopped counting. Yeah.
So you're not a simulator guy?
Not really, no. Congratulations to the winners. It's difficult, it's not easy, but certainly it can be easier than I made it for myself today.
So we wish you more luck for the race weekend here on the Hockenheim Ring. Perhaps it was a little bit of extra training. So you're going to buy a simulator or not?
Unfortunately, no time for simulator at the moment. Plenty of real racing, so I'll stay focused on that, because I feel that I'm a little bit better in real racing than in the simulator.
Okay, Mauro, thank you so much. So, and now we're going to celebrate the fastest races, and here they are. Thank you so much. So, we go on stage and we come to the victory ceremony. And where are Dave and Robert? You both, what a race! This is like real racing. What do you think, Dave? Because you saw so many real races on the real racetrack, but this is your second e-racing, right?
Do you know what, Tor? I was really, really impressed last year, and I thought I'm going to struggle to be even more impressed. But I think this year I was, because it's the sheer skill and dedication that these racers bring to this. And let's be truthful, when you're up against some of the best racing drivers in the world, the Mercedes-AMG DTM stars, I tell you what, absolutely brilliant. And whether you're a rookie or whether you've been in the championship throughout the year, you deserve so much credit, because these guys are brilliant.
Of course. Applause for them, please. So what do you think, Robert, of your new commentator here and of the race? Because you're the e-racing pro.
Shall I get my coat?
Oh man, it's been great. It's been my first opportunity to comment on such a race, on such a big stage, and it's been a fantastic experience also to share this passion for the sim racing, for the e-racing, with everyone here, with the big stage, with the Mercedes DTM drivers, and I hope we will see this a few more times in the future.
Hopefully. But I have the official results, so now we're going to celebrate the drivers of today. So thank you so much, and applause for them, please. So now
Really enjoyed working with you, buddy.
we start the victory ceremony, and here are the official results. And we start with the Mercedes-AMG Motorsport Games World Rookie Competition. The winner gets a DTM taxi drive here on the Hockenheim Ring, and this is really great. I did it before and I loved it. So, the winner is... You all know. But now you give a big applause for Moritz Lerner, please. Congratulations.
Okay, thank you.
How does it feel? There's your camera.
Okay, it feels great. It was a great battle against Florian. Had a lot of fun, and a P3 at the end is very nice.
Yeah, and are you looking forward to your prize? You know what it is?
Yeah, of course, a taxi ride. It's what I ever dreamed of. Every day, every weekend, I'm at a race weekend. I see people given taxi drives, and everyone wants it. and I can do it now, so I'm very excited for tomorrow.
I wish you good luck, because do you have a Kotztüte?
No.
Hopefully you don't need it. So, congratulations for you. Here is your prize from Robert. Yeah, your applause. Yeah! We don't have a podium, sorry, and we don't have champagne because it's too dangerous for the simulator. So this is your party hard, and good. Have fun tomorrow in the taxi.
Yeah, thank you.
Moritz, thank you so much. Moritz Löhner. And now we come to the Royal League. They fought really hard for this day. They spent so many hours on the simulators. They ate so much junk food for today, and they prepared hard. And now it's their ceremony, and we don't have music for this, like. We start with P3. Are you all ready for the ceremony? Perfect. We start with P3, and the prize is a 3-stage AMG Driving Academy racetrack training in real life, not in e-life. So, on P3 is Florian Asse. Glückwunsch! Congratulations. How does it feel? Was it a hard race for you?
Very good. Feels very good. Tough race against Moritz Löhner, and I had to take care that Jaroslav Hansek isn't come close to us, and 20-minute fight, so all good.
Are you looking forward to your prize? Have you ever been on a real racetrack?
No, I've never been yet.
You will with the Driving Academy. This is going to be really fun. So, congratulations for you, applause for you, and this is your prize over there. And we don't have a podium, but we have stairs. So this is the third place down there. So, second place. Hey, oh no, here we have a podium, to be honest. This is a podium. This is the third place, second place, first place. You can stand or sit if you want. Yeah. E-racer, you know. Okay, P2. Kevin Sigi Rebarak aus Österreich. Sein Vorbild, da ist ja deine Kamera. Herzlichen Glückwunsch.
Thank you.
How does it feel?
It feels pretty good. I mean, I'm very honored to be here, and I'm very satisfied with the position I've been in, so which is P2. I mean, I could have done a little better, and I think some of them could have played a little bit fair, but in the end, it's P2. I mean, I'm not going to complain much.
It was a hard fight with Tim, right?
Yeah, it was a very hard fight, but in the end, I was trying to kind of catch up to him, but couldn't in the DRS zone because he got away in turn 1. I don't know how, but he still managed to like pull away in turn 1 for like 4/10, but I couldn't catch him in the DRS zone.
So, there's racing. But P2, congratulations. Your prize, you know what it is? It's a 2-stage racetrack driving with the Driving Academy. And I wish you good luck and much fun with it.
Thank you very much.
So, you go on the second place on the podium. So this is 3, 2, and that works not really good with our podium. So next year we're gonna have a podium. So now we celebrate the world champion of this championship. Big applause for the winner of the Mercedes-AMG Motorsport eRacing competition. A big applause for Tim Heinemann. Congratulations.
Thank you very much.
How was the race?
Very difficult. I mean, my qualifying was pretty good with place 1. So, yeah, I started with 1 second ahead of the second place. And, yeah, in the middle of the race, my wheel went off. So I had no feeling in the wheel. So that made it very difficult, but yeah.
It's like in a real race. Sometimes you have problems with your car, sometimes not. And so you did it. You're the first. Your applause.
Thank you very much.
And you're going to get a 3-stage racetrack training. Here's your prize from Gary Peffert. And you're going to be on a real racetrack, and you're going to get a real a coach, a professional race driver. Have you ever been on a racetrack before?
Yeah, actually, I won last year, so I was in Imola this year with AMG Academy.
Of course, yeah.
Yeah, and was driving the AMG GTR, and I can recommend it to everyone. So, yeah, looking forward to another time with AMG Academy.
Yeah, perhaps you get this guy. You're going to do the training? No, you don't.
Maybe not. I'm a bit busy.
Perhaps Mero. Mero will do it. If he wants to. Where it is. Is he already gone? No, Mero, perhaps you do the training, and you can give him some simulator training. Yeah, so applause for you, Tim Heinemann. So please, yeah, we don't have champagne, I told before, because we're a little afraid of the simulators. But now please, all winners on stage, all drivers please for a photo. All drivers and all winners. That was a great competition, I hope you had fun. Did you have fun, Gary?
No.
No, you're not a simulator guy as well, right?
The last few laps I'd given up and I was watching the TV, watching the race at the front, so it wasn't going too well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was good. That's what we do in our race cars, is watch TV when we're driving around.
Yeah, of course, good. Hopefully not this weekend. So, this is going to be the picture. And so many race drivers and so many e-racing drivers.
No, because they're not using the grandstand.
So, this is not only photo, we have video as well. So, celebrate the winners of the e-racing competition, please. Here are the winners. So, we found you, the winners of the e-racing competition, and this weekend we're going to find a new DTM champion. We wish you, our race drivers, all the best, good luck, and perhaps next year you're going to do something with the simulator. We will see. So thank you to you, everyone at home, and thank you. Now we're going to celebrate. See you next year.